Hi, Pam here from Peaceful Spirit, and today I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite tools for creating your own world called the Storyline Planner. I was at a time in my life where a lot of things were changing, and I felt like I had lost the story of my life. Why was I doing the things that I was doing? I felt a little bit like a character in a novel that had no story arc, that wasn't changing and growing in a way that I wanted to. When I started using the Storyline Planner, I found it became the most present and mindful part of my day. So here's a little bit about how to do it. I take a notebook, and on the right-hand side, I'll write the day's date, and then below it, if I could live today over, I would. Now, what does that mean? It's a wonderful way of looking at your day and seeing the mistakes that you tend to make and then not making them. Decide what you're going to do to change your day before it even begins. My favorite example is on this day, I had dropped my husband off at the airport, and I was feeling a little bit like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. And I was sitting and we had been texting back and forth, and I was filling out the Storyline Planner. And I'm drinking a cup of coffee. And all of a sudden, I realized I'm sitting at my beautiful antique writing desk, drinking coffee, and he's in the airport in, Formica heaven, and maybe drinking bad coffee out of a styrofoam cup. Who was winning in this scenario? So I took a picture to remind me to see the good parts of where I am. Now, the next section is things I get to enjoy today. About 10 minutes later, I took this picture out my window of the birds sitting at my bird feeder, and because I really enjoy them. And what was interesting is I realized that I was looking at them to enjoy them, and I never even noticed the rain on the window pane or all the standing water in the side yard. I was seeing the beauty and the enjoyable part of my life rather than thinking about the fact that I was going to spend all day cleaning up the leak in my basement. So the next section, going a little bit down the page, is the appointments section. I sometimes have a tendency to miss things, so I keep things in Google Calendar, and it sends reminders to my phone. But what I like about writing my appointments down again is it reminds me of what I plan on doing in the day. And then on the opposite page, on the left-hand side, it's the project page. There's room for 3 projects, and these projects are long-term projects. Think about a time frame of about 6 months to a year. What I learned from the project page is that so many things that I think are my projects, I'm not really in charge of. For example, my office has been under construction for quite some time. And I'm not the air hammer girl, so I'm not in control of any of it. I had to remove that from my project page. But I am in control of my own body. And one of the things I want to learn how to do is to do a handstand in the middle of the room. And that I'm completely in control of, so I can keep that on my project page. Now, if this sounds like a lot of work, you'd be right. I don't do all of this every single day. Every day I do parts of it. But when I feel like I'm drifting and I've lost my way again, I really go full bore and I'll do all of it for a couple of weeks. This Storyline Planner allows us to acknowledge life's spacing and its pacing, and it gives you a picture of your own personal story arc. For more information about everything I've talked about in this video, just look in the liner notes below. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment, and you can click on the subscribe button below for more videos. Remember, until we meet again, create the world you want to live in. Thanks and bye-bye.